Young Charles Halley, 1964. Could you describe the young George Harrison?
Young, naive, and enthusiastic, but I didn't really question anything else. I was just into being in a rock and roll band and going wherever we were going.
Were you mostly a Beatle in those days?
Completely, yeah. Every moment of every day was Beatle, Beatle, Beatle.
Sort of group soul.
Just as a group, as, you know, our career, everything. It was just all the attention, the media, it was all Beatles until the Beatles just drove us crazy.
So when did George Harrison sort of break through as an identity on
1966. Well, I mean, he was always in there. George Harrison, whoever the real one is, was always there, really. But 1966 was when I sort of woke up out of my dream.
What made you wake up?
Well, a number of things. The experiences that we were having. And one experience, which I don't really like to talk about too much, but somebody put something in my coffee.
Right. So it changed your consciousness?
So it changed me a lot, yeah. Then I went off to India, into the Himalayas. People look at our bodies, we look at each other and we say, that's, you know, Muhammad Ali and this is George Benson and whatever. But really, inside all these bodies is a potentially divine soul. This is what the spiritual thing is trying to say. And but we are not the body. We are in bodies, and the body is the thing that changes, but inside is the spirit, and the spirit remains the same from one life to another. And it never changes. There was never a time when it didn't exist, and there will never be a time it ceases to exist. The only thing that changes is the bodily condition. From 1964 to 1988, you know, it's still the same that's in there.
To me, you were sort of the mystical one with the sun spectacles and the guitar and a little shy and half darkness. Were you the mystical person in the group?
So they say, yes. Well, in a way, you see, I don't think that word mysticism, it's something when people don't know about a thing, they like to call it, you know, put a label on it. But I think anything that's mystical means you don't know about it. But when you do know about it, it isn't mystical anymore.
Do you have any inner pictures of past incarnations?
It's of no interest to me. I assume that I'm getting better each time. I can't remember what I had for my breakfast this morning, let alone remember what I did 20 years ago, really. So to remember who you were in the previous life, it's got to be worse going back and back. We must have been worse and worse.
I think so.
I think so. And that would just be so horrible. You wouldn't be able to live now. We have to take the now, live and be here now, in order to make tomorrow or tonight better.
What's the biggest challenges for tomorrow as you see it? For humanity as a whole?
I don't know. Humanity begins for me with, it sounds selfish, but with the self. I am no good to you unless I'm got myself together. No? So the first thing society has to do is each individual has to make himself good. Then collectively the society is good. But if you have a leader who hasn't got himself together, then he can't do anything. Then you see like Richard Nixon's, Ronald Reagan's, you know, all these kind of people are empty. They're just like a shell with darkness and emptiness inside, and they're out there leading countries. And